a real-life painting. Welcome to the Longji Rice Terraces. Located in the beautiful Guilin region, Longji, meaning dragon's backbone, derives its name from the multi-layered terraces, resembling the scales of a resting dragon. The region experiences 3 distinct seasons, coinciding with the different phases of the rice growth cycle. Our favorite time to visit was in early October, just before harvest season, when the fields transformed into a blanket of golden yellow. While many visitors prefer guided tours, we always gravitate towards exploring places ourselves, giving us complete freedom to choose our accommodations and attractions. In this video, we'll take you with us on our journey to the breathtaking rice terraces of Longji, along with how to get there, where to stay, and the must-visit scenic viewpoints. Let's kick off our adventure from the starting point of Guilin City.
Today, we are going to head over to the Longji Rice Terraces, and it is perfect season because the rice apparently is golden brown just before they harvest here in mid-October.
Currently, it's about 7 in the morning, so we're going to be grabbing a quick breakfast here at our hotel called the Yifang Landscape Hotel. It's actually a really cute place and they opened up this year. We're loving it and it's right on riverfront. So it's a great place to keep base when you're in Guilin, which is the starting point for visiting the Longji Rice Terraces and Yangshuo Mountains.
By the way, this place was only $30 US a night, so the value is pretty unbeatable. All right, let's go check out the breakfast. The breakfast wasn't too bad. There weren't too many options, but honestly, it was quite satisfying. Now we're waiting for a Didi driver, which is their version of Uber, to come and pick us up in order to head over to the rice terraces. Now there are 2 major ways to get there. The first one is your private driver, a taxi, Didi like us, and the second way is by bus. Now taking the bus is slightly more complicated, but we'll go ahead and explain that once we're in the car.
You're probably wondering why we're at this random pit stop at a charging station, and it's because it takes 2 to 2.5 hours by car to get to the rice terraces from Guilin. But the Didi driver didn't tell us until we got to the car that he had to charge his vehicle because there are no charging stations along the way because it's really remote. But I didn't realize that we were going to be spending 20 minutes waiting out here in this random pit stop.
While we're sitting here just waiting for the car to charge, we feel like this is a good time to tell you guys, if you wanted to take the bus, exactly how would you get over to the rice terraces. Now you have to first station yourself in one of 4 areas. You have to get yourself either to the railway station, Guilin North, West, or Guilin Station, or you can go to the Qintan bus terminal. From here, you'll hop on a bus that'll take you to the entrance of the Longji Rice Terraces. Here, you'll pick up your tickets and then hop onto a minibus depending on which rice terrace you want to visit. Now, there are 2 major ones to go to. The first one is called Ping'an. Over here, it's mainly inhabited by the Zhuan people, and it's a little bit more developed. It's a little bit easier to get around, a little bit more touristy. Now, the rice terrace that we're heading to, it's called the Jinkeng Dazhai Rice Terraces, and here it's inhabited by the Yao people. We heard it's a little bit more mountainous, a little bit more beautiful, a little bit quieter. So hopefully once we get there, it kind of reflects that. The good thing about a DD driver though is that he'll wait for us at the entrance for us to go pick up our tickets, and then he'll drop us right off to the terraces. In about an hour and a half, we made it over to the entrance. And from there, thankfully, we actually didn't have to get out of the car. There was a lady right there who came up to the car with a little machine, and you can use Alipay or WeChat. But you can't use your own credit card, unfortunately. But we did pick up our tickets, and they were 80 yuan per person. And now we're just driving along a very windy mountain road. This one should be about 55 or so minutes. So this is going to be a pretty long journey, but at least the views are starting to open up.
2.5 hours later, we're finally here at the Jinkeng Dazhai bus terminal / parking lot. From here, you can either hike up to the Rice Terraces, or you can take a cableway, and it costs 100 yuan per person round trip, or 55 one way. And you can also hike your way back down if you're doing a day trip. But instead, what we're doing is we're waiting for a pickup to head to our hotel amidst the Rice Terraces. Right now, it's currently raining, but it is forecasted to get better in the afternoon and for tomorrow, so I'm definitely glad that we booked our stay.
Thankfully, the hotel we booked offered complimentary pickup and drop-off from the main parking lot, which eliminated a significant amount of hassle. As we drove up, we were greeted with a breathtaking view of the stunning Rice Terraces, and within about 15 minutes, we arrived. Check-in was a smooth process, and our room was just simply exquisite. They maintained a traditional look with exposed wood and artwork, while incorporating modern elements such as the standalone bathtub. Our circular bed was more aesthetically pleasing than practical, but the hero of the room was undoubtedly our balcony view. Having stayed at our fair share of hotels in the past, this one certainly ranks high for one of the most unreal views we've had from a room. Don't worry guys, we went ahead and linked our stay in the description.
I just cannot get over this view. I just love being able to sit there and just enjoy it from our balcony. Also, this hotel is so beautifully designed. I love how they kept that old traditional Chinese architecture because it fits this ambiance so well. Now, if you did want modern styles, there definitely are. There are so many different types of homestays here. You can just pick the one that fits your vibe the best. Now, unfortunately though, it is still raining out there, so we can't explore the fields just yet. But it is time for lunch. So we're actually eating at the restaurant here at the hotel. We got 2 sets of noodles, 1 soup, and 1 stir fry. The soup one, I feel like we're almost gonna fight over because it's cold outside. It's gonna warm us right up.
Ooh, they just came out with a tea set as well as a mulled wine. This right here is a welcome gift for us staying here. It smells so good, nice and sweet.
So funny, at some hotels, their welcome gift is like the smallest cup of a little drink, versus here they give you an entire thing of mulled wine.
Dang.
That's so cool.
I think it's rice wine.
Oh, is it? Give it a try. How does it taste?
It's very clear too. And there's like a piece of rice in there as well. Tastes a little bit like ice wine back home, but without like the tannins. It's very clear and light tasting. I wonder if they've actually made the rice wine from these fields.
That would actually be so cool if they did that. After lunch, we actually just went back to the room just to enjoy it from there some more. We actually threw on our bathrobes, made ourselves some tea, and it was just so relaxing. But now it is time to head into the terraces, and we're going to a viewpoint, and hopefully it's a little bit better than our room, but we'll see.
We're here up at the Viewpoint, and given that it's only a couple of minutes from the hotel, it's very similar to what we were getting in the room, but still mighty beautiful. And we're here at Viewpoint number 1, one of 3 different ones in the Jinkeng Rice Terraces area. We're going to be seeing Viewpoint number 2 tomorrow, and Viewpoint number 3 is just around there at the top of the cable car. We're not going to see it because it is a little far distance by car, and they're seeing the same valley that we are. So we managed to walk on the Rice Terraces. That was something that we wanted to do. We didn't want to just stick around the viewpoints. And the way that we did was we paid one of the ladies at the entrance point. I think she might own this part of the land, and it was only 10 yuan per person. I think it's worth it for the photo.
Like most things in China, you want the best photos, you want the best viewpoints, those things are usually not free. So just be prepared to pay a little bit if you want to experience it all. It's been such a blast taking photos here just because of how beautiful it is. I was up here while Lauren was on one terrace lower. It was actually kind of a struggle for her to get down there, but the photos I believe turned out pretty amazing. Now if you want to find out exactly where we are, right there is viewpoint number 1. You essentially just keep walking up the hill and then you'll see a lady waiting at the gate.
My brand new shoes got a little bit dirty. I think it was worth it though. After putting all the effort into cleaning our shoes, I've definitely built an appetite for dinner. So that's where we are right now. And we're actually next door to our hotel, which is all lit up. And this place looked really bumping. Pretty much every table is taken. So we thought that might be a good sign that the food is good, hopefully. And we ordered a braised fish and beer. We ordered some green beans. And instead of plain rice, we went with this nice fried rice that's cooked and laid in a bamboo log. Definitely salivating a little bit after looking at the menu, and hopefully the food is as good as it looks.
Good morning, guys. We were hoping for a decent sunrise this morning, but unfortunately we did not get that whatsoever. But we did pour ourselves a hot cup of tea and we just got to enjoy this beautiful view, especially with the clouds sitting just below the mountaintop.
We are enjoying our tea, but it's time for us to grab some breakfast because this definitely opened up our appetite. And thankfully, breakfast at the hotel is included. Now, we're not expecting too much because usually in China, when the breakfast is comped, it's nothing too fancy. We're still looking forward to filling our bellies.
As expected, the breakfast isn't too fancy, but I am glad that we have some hot, steaming noodles. It looks like the exact same ones that we got yesterday for lunch, so I'm kind of glad they have that for breakfast. We have a little fried noodle, which is also the exact same one that we got for lunch, just minus the beef. Got a little bit of buns, corn, sweet potato, as well as eggs. We also have some watermelon and fruits, and of course for drinks, we have a little soy milk.
Now that we've had some breakfast, it's time for us to go and explore a little bit more of the rice terraces. And I mentioned yesterday that we're gonna go check out viewpoint number 2, which is called the multi-layer skyscraper viewing deck. It takes about 20 minutes heading downhill and west from the hotel, so hopefully not too long of a journey.
We are here at point number 2, which is right over there. But thankfully, you can actually walk through the rice fields here, and this spot is absolutely free. And I'm so happy because here at viewpoint 2, we actually get an entirely different view of the rice terraces. It wasn't the same ones that we saw from the hotel, so it makes a little trek down super worth it. Sadly, our time here in Longji is coming to an end. Later this afternoon, we are going to be heading back to Guilin, and this time we're taking the bus. Booking it was a lot easier than we had expected. Essentially, where you get dropped off at the transport terminal, go and find the big blue buses. There should be someone hanging around. If not, just talk to the driver. You essentially just tell them which day you want to leave and at what time. And that costs 50 yuan per person. It's definitely a lot cheaper than taking a taxi or a Didi.
And with that, our time in Longji is over, but we're really excited to take you guys on to our next adventure, arguably the most iconic part of Guilin, Yangshuo.